Hey everyone, we're back for another Grim Dawn Basics class combo talky thing, and today we're going to look at the Witchblade, which in the last episode I forgot I still needed to do when I was like, oh, I'll do the Occultist combos. I don't think the Witchblade's here, but yeah, we're gonna do the Witchblade real quick. The Witchblade is your soldier occultist combination, and it's a pretty potent one. Like most things that combine with the soldier, you can pretty much take the main builds on the other class's side and just take up the passive and defensive abilities on the soldier side and like just make a really robust version of whatever the other class is. That happens with the Arcanist, that happens with the Demolitionist, that happens with the Shaman, that happens with the Nightblade, it happens with the Occultist. But at the same time, like all of those other combinations, you can build on the soldier side of things, and the Occultist brings a lot to the table regardless. So, I think one of the main, like, starter builds I can think of is some sort of Cadence build. And Cadence with Discord used to have Chaos Conversion on it. Physical to chaos conversion, but it doesn't have that anymore. And that's fine, because you can still like come and get Soleil's Witchfire. Does this have the conversion? Yeah, this has the conversion now. So if you max it out, it's 15% according to GrimCalc, and that can actually be good for the Cadence build. And you can do this with either ranged or melee. And one hand or two hand, and you can do Chaos Vitality and then physical, and you actually end up with a not bad like whack the enemies with a stick build, because you can also throw in like Markovi's Advantage and Zilhan's Technique, and that's pretty not bad. I think we're at the point where I don't need to go over each and every single ability, but I can just point out little combos that can happen. So if you're playing, like, say, a Dreeg's character, yeah, you can go and pick up all of the defensive stuff. And, like, you can run a Dreeg's character, and he'll be pretty tanky with this class. You can also get Blood of Dreeg, and this brings a heal into the mix, because Blood of Dreeg with Aspect of the Guardian is a pretty nice defensive ability. So you can hide behind like your shield and your HP and, you know, all of this stuff while still having this heal ability. And you can pretty much use that combination to form the basis for pretty much any build, I think, between these two classes. So like a Vitality melee build, Vitality range build, Chaos melee, Chaos ranged, Dreeg's Evil Eye. You could even go with the bleeding damage. Because there is bleeding damage between the two classes, and pick up, you know, like Blade Arc with Laceration. I don't think there's any internal trauma damage really that crosses over. But is there bleed damage actually in here anymore? Oh, it's on Bloody Pox. That's a shame. Bloody Pox has one really good thing it can do, and this is where I'm going to talk about a really unique build. And this is a Retaliator build. Now, you could do this with either the Soldier Shaman or the Soldier Occultist, and I think, personally, that the Soldier Occultist build is slightly better for it. Mostly because of this ability. Fervid Rage. You would never use this ability in normal company. The main thing about it is, if you were using it for not a gimmick, like you just wanted to use it, it has that % reduction to enemies' health, which could actually make Bloody Pox really potent. And Bloody Pox on its own is not actually that great an ability. It's hard to get it where you hit an enemy and then it spreads through, you know, it plagues through the enemies. So, like, it's actually really difficult to use, and it can be used against anything. It can be used against undead and stuff, and it has other damages it deals aside from bleeding. So it deals vitality damage and poison damage. It's just the bleed damage is the part that doesn't work on the undead. But you can get this plague going pretty much on any group. The problem is, because it has a cooldown, and because it, like, even with investment, to me it doesn't seem like it deals a lot of damage. It's kind of a ho-hum ability. However, if you are playing a Retaliator build and you put a point in Fervid Rage, the enemy gets a speed boost, damage boost, whatever. You're gonna be super resilient, but the enemy gets a speed boost, and when the enemy has a speed boost and you're doing a Retaliator setup, they're hitting you more, which means they're being retaliated against more. It, to me, is like the one reason I think the Witchblade has an advantage to Retaliator builds over the Shaman, despite, or I should say the Warder, despite the fact that the Warder has like a % retaliation ability on it. Because I don't think the Soldier has an actual increased retaliation ability. It doesn't. But it does have Counter-Strike to make up for it. And Counter-Strike works both with a ranged weapon, I should do my gestures on this side, a ranged weapon and a melee weapon, because it's technically retaliation, it's just retaliation all on its own. So Retaliator build, you can actually make it really powerful with the Witchblade when you combine like Counter-Strike, a lot of defenses, bloody pox with Fervid Rage, and the ability to heal yourself. And I think beyond that retaliation concept, you can use Dreeg's Evil Eye and its focused gaze mode to add that into the build, while you don't, I actually think, need anything else. Oh, while using Warcry to reduce enemies' health and their damage to you. So you can actually use Warcry the enemies, and pox them, and they're actually not getting a damage boost out of this. They're just hitting you faster. So you can actually hit this whole screen with a Warcry, infect them with this plague that makes them hit you hard, like hit you faster, and then you're just retaliating like crazy with like your perdition set or whatever legendaries you have that retaliate. So it can actually be a really funny build. Like, you can have, say, Alcamos teleport on you and hit you, and then you retaliate and kill him without even hitting an attack button. It's really funny and really awesome. And I have a build from way back in early access that I've actually been wanting to build up for this. But anyways, beyond that really interesting and kind of unique concept, a lot of what the Witchblade is going to be doing is what I've mentioned before with the Soldier or the Occultist. Well, I haven't mentioned the Occultist much before, but yeah, like you could build around, you know, Sigil of Consumption and Vitality damage, like I said, or Chaos damage and like Doombolt and Destruction, and obviously Soleil's Witchfire is going to be huge for this combination, regardless of what you're building, except for maybe a Dreeg's build, you'd probably skip on it. And Possession can actually be really good as well for whatever Witchblade you're making. Or you could play for Oliran's Rage and get the attack speed, or I mean, the movement speed. You could play for Maynard's Bulwark for the defenses. I mean, there's a lot of places you can go with the Witchblade. It's a pretty customizable class. It's a lot like the Commando, in that you will kind of take like your build concept and give it robustness from the Soldier, and yeah, it's really solid. It's a B+. I think in the tier list Sino and I made, like after the Sorcerer and Spellbreaker combos, we actually put, I think, every single Soldier combination, because all of the Soldier combinations are just solid for what the Soldier brings to a class. Even if you're not using the attack abilities, it just makes whatever the class is just really nice. And in this particular case, you can actually get the heal on top of all of your defenses. And you have a lot of options for building melee or ranged, and it's low gear dependency. Oh, you could also do a pet build if you really wanted to, where you basically are unkillable while your pets are pretty strong. So yeah, really solid, really nice. And that is the Witchblade. I don't think I have much else to say about it, because, like I mentioned, we're getting into the point with these where I've talked about all the classes already. So it's going to be a lot of redundant speech if I go in ability by ability by ability. So, yeah, we'll leave the Witchblade at that. So thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time for the Conjurer, and then the Witch Hunter, and then I believe we have the Trickster. The Blade Master, I think we still need to do. And the Druid. No, we did the Druid. There's one more missing, and I'm sure I'll remember it after I end this. But yeah, that's gonna be it. So I'll see you guys then.